Joe from Mizuno just sent me the eyes emoji. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. It's because I put that story up of me hitting the... what coffee did you get me?
Your favourite?
Latte. With what syrup?
Vanilla.
So I said, being the polite Englishman that I am, Scotty, pleasure to meet you, mate. Big fan of your work. Congratulations on everything. Do you mind if I grab a quick picture? To which he responded... hi everyone, welcome back to the Golf Supply podcast. This is episode 4, but you haven't yet seen episode 3, so for that we apologise.
It's a bit like Inception. I was thinking this on the way. It's episode 4, but they'll see it's episode 3 because we filmed 4 about events that happened in the future of the podcast, but the podcast's in the past.
Or for events that happened in the future of Portugal, but the Portugal content hasn't been released yet, so we can't actually talk about that.
Yeah. So it's all like, it is Inception, essentially.
Yeah. But this is the Golf Supply podcast episode 4. If you're new here, it is sponsored by our good friends and channel partners, Golfing Days. They are event specialists, hosting a lot of overseas events, Portugal, Morocco, Dubai. What am I missing, West? Where else
Northern
have they been?
Ireland coming up.
Northern Ireland. A lot in the Middle East now they're doing. So they're doing some stuff in Oman, Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
Costa Navarino event coming up.
Costa Navarino.
In the UK.
Yeah, and then alongside that, they do a host of venues and events here in the UK. So they have their most famous one, most well-known, their Marriott Bonvoy Masters, which you can win a trip to the Masters, and they hold National Golf Club Championship. Just loads and loads of events that you and the boys can play in at your home course as a team, or you and a couple of pals get involved in some tournament competition golf with some dope prizes to be won along the way as well. So just want to say thank you, as always, to Mark, Olivia, Ollie from Golfing Days for sponsoring this podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Yeah, how are you, mate?
I'm good, minus the elephant in the room. I'm a little bit chesty.
I know, it's hot though.
I woke up this morning, and me and Ash decided last night, due to sort of not bad admin, but we got mishaps of uploads and this and that. We're like, right, we need to film a pod.
Yeah.
Let's take it back to where it started. Me and you, let's go and have a chat. Got some points. I woke up this morning and my voice, obviously from laying down, was completely gone. I thought, oh shit.
Not ideal for a podcast.
But no, back in. So yeah, we got some points to discuss. This is where it all began, just me and you for a chinwag.
Apart from your throat, everything else all right though? Haven't seen you in a while.
Again, another thing I was thinking about, I think this was yesterday, driving home from work, and I was thinking, during the winter, it's just like pause, isn't it? Apart from when we get abroad and stuff. And then we go through this summer stage of like April all the way through till probably October, where we probably see each other 5-6 times a week.
Yeah.
And golf improves, and yeah, which I have a point about that actually, about golf improvement. But
well, for someone, if you want to talk about playing golf and that, you're probably the man who's playing the least golf out of anyone at the moment.
Yeah.
None of us are actually playing a lot of golf, to be honest.
No.
I obviously played with Gaz over at Centurion.
Yep.
That's the only round of golf I've played since I've been back from Portugal.
It's crap, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is like, it is.
And what
crap.
was that? That was the end of Feb, wasn't it? I was out there till pretty much the end of Feb, and it's now, I was filming this the 20th of March. Hopefully this will come out, it's the 19th of March, so this should be coming out on the 20th, hopefully tomorrow if I can get my arse in gear and edit it in time. But that's one round of golf in pretty much a month. Yeah. No, I tell a lie. I played 2 rounds of golf. I played Sunningdale.
Pure.
3 days after I come back from Portugal.
And that, how was that?
Unbelievable, West.
Really?
Yeah.
Your
hopefully,
new favourite UK course?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Really?
It's got to be, yeah. And I played the new course. So you've got Sunningdale Old and Sunningdale New. Okay. If you speak to any of the members there or people that have played both golf courses, there's not really a preference on if someone prefers the new to the old. No. The old just... And it's only like 15 years difference between them. It's not like one was there for like hundreds of years and the other, I'm pretty sure... Well, that might be Walton Heath. I might have got that completely wrong. But there's not a massive preference between the two. I think old just usually nicks it because it's got the history. Yeah. But yeah, as far as golf courses go, and it's got to be as far as, if anyone's played Sunningdale, get down in the comments and let us know. It has to be one of the best 36-hole venues in the world.
Really?
Like, yeah, I just can't think of like many other golf courses where it's 36 holes, it's 2 18s, and they're both that incredible. Because they're usually, you've got a championship course, and then you have like another 18 there, which isn't as strong. But yeah, if you haven't played Sunningdale, old or new, hopefully we'll get back and I'll be able to bring you over to the new when we get to play that. Just impeccable, mate.
And what was talk to me about practice facilities and clubhouse, food, clubhouse.
Clubhouse. So just not to name drop people, because I didn't say hello to any of these people, and just to preface, I don't know any of these people, like personally, but you might not know some of the names, but you've got, I had to Google it, Russ told me, you've got Douglas Scott, the Scottish actor who was in like Mission Impossible.
Okay.
You'd know his face if
Probably
you see him.
Face,
You'd know his face if you see him. He walks into the clubhouse. Wayne Radar Riley.
Yep.
Andrew Coulthard does a lot of the commentating for golf. You'd know him off Sky Sports as well.
Yep.
Who else was there? There was Stephen Hendry, snooker player.
Nice.
He's got his thing. So it was just like a who's who of like just everyone sitting in this clubhouse, just having their lunch.
And they're members, you think?
I presume they're all members, yeah. Because I think they all live around Surrey way.
Yeah.
So they've just, Sunningdale, I think recently, they've just revamped what their now clubhouse is with like the bar and the restaurant and that there. Okay. It used to be somewhere else. I didn't see where it was before.
Yeah.
But just to like give you like a bit of context, I think like the coffee machine there, which is obviously free to use, is like 60 grand. Yeah. So it's like this like big like area, like coffee area. Do you know, like usually have like a coffee machine like an area. The actual area where you make your coffee, it is the whole machine, and you can pick from like 40 different coffees. It makes it. This sounds like just a basic coffee machine, but it's not. It makes the coffee there and then, and it's like you can pick from like how much milk, sugar, this, that, and it's just apparently 60 grand. This machine,
like a barista,
proper
but of machine, AI, whatever.
Yeah,
but
it's just a screen. It's like a. Do you ever see in like Currys or something like that? You have them fridges, and it's a screen.
Yes.
So it's like imagine that, and it's like this big computer in front of you, and it's just this big screen, and you can just select whatever you want.
Yeah.
Put your cup underneath it. It's just
to the.
Yeah, to exactly how you want it. So
I like stuff like clubhouses are. To be fair, I'll just move on because it actually does bring me on to a point I wrote down.
Yeah.
And we're talking about that. Let me read it out before I butcher it. It was, so how should courses be rated was a point I had written down. And I think that's we come onto that nicely. Because I think clubhouse and stuff is obviously a huge deal.
Rated is in, not difficulty, rated is in like top 100.
Like how do we say this is the best? Like, and I'm talking, you're going to have some courses which are just like maintained, pure, boom, boom, boom. Then you've got history. But like, what for you comes into, that was a class day out. Not so much golf.
I mean, I don't think if it was me, I wouldn't factor in. I'd factor in practice facilities and stuff like that. I wouldn't factor in clubhouse to the rating of the golf course. Because like you might have Sunningdale, for example, or like Walton Heath has got a more aesthetically pleasing vibe to like, it's like older, it's like traditional, it's this and that, and it's like there's a lot of history steeped in there, and they've got like this like members room and stuff. Whereas Sunningdale's new clubhouse is like, it's very modern, it's very new. But I wouldn't, because Walton Heath's got, I think like personally like a bit of a better vibe there. Like you can sit there and have some lunch and it feels like you're at like a really like historical golf course and stuff. Whereas Sunningdale is just very modern now. Like I said, I don't know what the old one was like. I didn't get to visit it before. But I wouldn't bring that into rating of golf courses now. Like experience wise, like if you go there and like the clubhouse is sick and like the changing rooms are lovely. Like when I played Josh is going to kill me. Either New Zealand Club or Coombe Hill. I can't remember what one it is. Two fantastic golf courses in Surrey, which, shout out Josh, managed to get us on and play. One of them golf courses, I can't remember what one it was, their changing rooms were an absolute joke.
Does that come into play?
Well, it doesn't. I don't think it does with regards to course rating. Like, I don't think the course should be, like, rated. That's so annoying that that's in here. I don't think that should be factored into like how good the golf course is.
It's just a side mission.
It's a side mission, yeah. It's side quest. Because it does like going into the changing rooms. And it was modern, but it'd been done in a really traditional way. Yes, and like you went into the toilet, and it was like this massive granite, like, and you had like multiple things, and you had like all folded up towels and this and that, and it was just like pucker. Do you remember when we went to
Fox Hills?
No, not Fox Hills. When we went to Formby.
Yes, yeah.
And the clubhouse was like unbelievable.
Was like London 5-star.
Yeah.
Vibe.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like at either Coombe Hill thing.
I suppose you're right, actually. So you walk in, you're like, fuck, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use any of this stuff, but that's amazing.
It's still nice, yeah.
But yeah, I suppose it doesn't really. By the time you get out to the first tee, all you're thinking about is
how good the golf course.
Did I have a good warm up because the range was good?
Yeah.
Trackman and that doesn't really matter. I don't think at a course. Just you want to hit even just 20 balls. Mm-hmm. I don't think a chipping area is that is essential, but just have something where you can chip on to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that good. Putting green, just have a green that's big enough to have multiple people on there without hitting each other's balls. And then, it probably does solely just come down to...
It's golf course, yeah.
For me, it's more maintenance and fun to play as opposed to history and stuff. Now, that may change as we grow and we start to play better and better courses. But currently, for me, it's just like... Did I have fun, and was it maintained good?
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to history, I can't say that. I don't know. Again, I don't know what events. So many events have been played at Sunningdale over the years, and I don't get that. If we go and play, if we went and play Royal St George's in Kent, which held the Open, like what was it, like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play that golf course and be like, oh my God, like Rory McIlroy walked these fairways. Like that doesn't bother. That side of history I don't care for.
Agree. Yeah.
But it's like obviously not like it just tends to work hand in hand. That the more historical the golf course, usually the better it is, the more prestigious it is, the more money it's made, the more it can put into the golf course. But yeah, the history side of it I don't actually care for, to be honest. I think it's cool, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like the Opens have been played at golf courses and like all these events and stuff, but it's more so, I'm the same as you. It's like course design with regards to like how the course is laid out, maintenance, condition, and then
fun.
Yeah, how fun it is.
Because for example, we made a boo-boo when we went to Formby, played Formby Ladies and that, which turned out to be so fun.
That was on me, though, that whole
But,
day.
like, just think, I mean, it was a funny day when you look back. But, yeah, like, the fun level of that course, even though it beat us up, didn't it? It was so those that...
Yeah, it was like 40 mile an hour.
Yeah. Those that went to the Open or were around the Open or lived up north during the Open knew that it was just really crap weather that time. And we played Formby Ladies and it really beat us up. But, like, we both played all right.
Yeah.
Don't think like we scored really, really well, but I don't think we scored really, really bad. And then,
do you remember that par 3?
Yes, I remember hitting like 2 or 3 balls.
Yeah,
I think maybe 2, might have been 3, and I hit really, really good shots. I was really, really happy with, and there was no miss.
What was it? It was on the back nine, wasn't it?
It had these hills. It was
like 13 or something.
Something
around that
mid back nine.
Around that
like
number.
Around the green, rather than say like an island green. Well, it was an island green.
It pretty much
but
worked,
just with thick hill rough.
Yeah.
And it was like elevated.
I missed it right and was on that massive bank and didn't have a shot.
And I kept
you
putting
missed
it
a
left.
couple left, and like, but if you didn't hit the green, you're like
gone.
Dead. Yeah, dead.
Really hard tee shot because we both went 7, and you went like punchy 6, and it was like the perfect club.
Hard hole.
What was that? 13 or 14 or something
like that.
But yeah, what a sick course that was. Very fun to play.
But anyway, back to Sunningdale. Yeah, practice facilities, just everything you'd want. Like you've like walked down to this area, they've all got mats there, but then they've got the grass bays that they obviously open up in the summer for you to hit through.
Sick.
You can hit driver down there. It's like 300 yards long. All of the pyramid balls there, complimentary.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Sick.
Pyramid balls helps
Grove do that well as well. But yeah, pyramid balls. And then they've got like a massive putting green. They've got a massive short game area that you can hit chips from. And it's just really cool because like for anyone who knows Sunningdale or has even seen pictures of Sunningdale, the most famous picture of Sunningdale is the big tree, which is their logo.
Yeah.
And the clubhouse in the background.
Okay.
And then so you've got like you stand on like the new tee box is like just to the right of the range. And as you look over your shoulder and you look back, there's just the massive Sunningdale tree there. And then you've got the clubhouse there, which I'd never been there before.
Yeah.
It was funny on this podcast when you said to me, I was like, I want to play Sunningdale. It's like my bucket list, like the first episode 1.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened that Russ that we was out in Portugal with, like he knows a member there, Ross Howlett, who's shout out Ross, absolute legend. And he got us on to play it. But I thought we were going to play old. Got there and they have the same system as Walton Heath. So they have like one day a course is 2 balls only. The other day you can have 4 balls on, and then it switches like daily. So it's just to get more tee time. I don't know why they do it, but it's just 2 balls only on the thingy. There was 4 of us playing. I played with Brad as well, Russ's brother. And even though it had not stopped raining for like 4 days prior, it was wet there, but like his sand base, so like it held up well. The greens were still rolling ridiculously good, and it was just like. And the forecast we had was terrible, and it turns out that we had like good weather all day. So,
do you think that something out of golf courses control, weather, helps?
It helps you like your memories of that and playing well.
Because I was just thinking then, like for me, I just really, really, really loved Asafid in Morocco.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get bad weather there, are you?
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, if we picked up that course and put it over here, and it took the conditions of over here, would it be as good?
You wouldn't enjoy it as much.
No, that's what. Yeah.
But it's all like whenever you play a golf course, like, and you play a golf course really well, you're like, bloody, I really like that golf course. Yeah. Like even if like you might play a golf course that you would have presumed to be better because you didn't play it that well.
Yeah.
You don't really rate it as highly.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Personal performance.
Yeah, 100%.
Could come into play.
Yeah, it does.
Hate that course
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but you sure? Yeah, no, but I hate it.
Absolutely bad.
Shithole.
Yeah. Never want to play that crap hole again.
Pure. You know how pure it was. You said it
no,
was
dump.
I wasn't feeling it.
Dump.
I wasn't feeling
Terrible
it.
layout.
Just, the greens.
The pins are in stupid positions.
No, I thought they were quite good. They had the club championship yesterday. Nah, shit.
1 out of 10 would not recommend.
Personal performance might be above.
It does, yeah.
Oh, might be the top 3.
So then, that was the first round. Then I played Centurion Magaz, which again was another course that wasn't bucket list, but it was another course I really wanted to get around to playing. Just because obviously Liv was there, and I watched the Liv event there. It was the first ever Liv event ever was held at Centurion. And it was funny as well because when I went and watched the Liv event, literally me and George only watched holes 1, 2, and 3, and people to come round them holes.
Yep.
So after I got through them 3 holes, I had absolutely no idea what the golf course done. I can remember par 5 dogleg left start, and then the next was a par 3, and then it's a like 90-degree angle par 4 dogleg right. If you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. It's out now. And then after that, it was just like a whole new world. I didn't have a clue about anything. And Gaz was like, yeah, like this, that, and I was like, I don't remember any of these holes at all.
He's at, shout out Gaz as well, very, very nice lad. He's at Westy today.
Did you see how good it looked?
That's on our mini bucket list, isn't it? And I say mini bucket list because I guess you've got the big boys which are like, want to play at these American courses. And I'd say mini bucket list is more close to home and like in reaching distance. Yeah. Westy, his story looked
unbelievable.
Fucking pure.
It looked so good. I know it was like, but God. Again, we say like the conditions that we had at the Open stuff, they were terrible. How good did Westy look when?
Oh, so good. It was only windy. It wasn't wet. No, it was wet.
It was wet. It was wet. And it was just like, it just looks a joke, that golf course. That'll definitely be one
that's on like the mini bucket.
We get round to playing. But yeah, shout out Gaz for people who follow his channel and stuff. Let me just tell you lot, he's one of the fucking real ones in this golf space. Yeah, he is. He is one of the real ones, that boy. Down to earth, funny, always up for the crack, like
loves golf,
loves
lads,
not fucking snobby with anything. No. Like, you meet some characters in the space that we have over the last couple of years, and let me just tell you all, coming from the horse's mouth, he is a fucking real one.
Yeah, he is.
He is a good lad. I love playing with him, love filming with him. He's just a good vibe, that lad. So if you haven't watched that video, there's part 1. Me and Gaz played an 18-hole match. Part 1 on our channel, part 2 on Gaz's channel. He does really well on the front 9, and unfortunately, he doesn't really hold it together as much on the back 9.
And what do we say?
Cream always rises to the top. Yeah, it's the truth. I managed to close out the match, I think 3-1, which was good because my heart was fucking racing on the front 9.
That would have been awful if you lost.
No, because the thing is, right,
would that have stung you or not? Be honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to like cap and say the thing. I think I'm quite a few levels higher than Gaz's golf game.
Yep.
But when playing match play, and it's an 18-hole match, I knew after 9 holes when I was 1 down, it was far from over.
Yep.
But I just free putted like 4 times or 3 times on the first 9 holes. But again, it's because I hadn't played golf, and like I'd played Sunningdale, which were running like relatively fast them greens.
Yep.
And Portugal was obviously running like fast, like especially the second pro. And we played Laranjal, Kinta South, old course, all rolling fast. Hadn't played. And it kind of come back to bite me in the arse a little bit. Didn't hit one single practice putt before we went out.
Playing is key. I think it was a few years ago when we were all, me, you, the boys from home, that were smashing Braintree golf. Like, we were playing a lot of golf. And I remember a few times saying, like,
don't give them any pride.
I remember a few times I was just like, I might not play tonight, I want to go to the range and that. And I remember you saying during the summer, when the weather's in, you've just got to play.
Just got to play.
And you will get better because during the winter you can't play.
No.
And it is true, if you just keep playing and playing, granted there's things you probably need to work on and you probably should practice. But yeah, just when the sun is there in this country, just play.
Just get out and play.
And play. You get used to lies and this and that. Yeah. Which actually brings me on nicely. It's weird how that's like flown in. This is not planned. What should I do first? Because we had 2 points we could have flowed into then when you said you're better than Gaz. And then about practice. Let's do the practice one. So I ask you, as a better playing golfer, to rapidly improve, how many times a week would you, like, what would be an ideal practice week? Because like, I'd say no mid-handicappers really practice. They'll just play once a week with their
What do you mean by rapidly improve, though? What are we talking to get from what to what?
Let's just say you're a 24 to 18 handicap. Or like, no, you're like 22 to 12. You know, like that sort of like high, mid sort of thing. And you're now looking to just get down to single figs. I probably think you don't need to practice that much. You just need to play, to be honest, to get to single.
Do you know one thing that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a golf coach. Don't claim to be a golf coach. Don't think I'm a guru of the golf game at all. But like the one bit of advice I would give mid to high handicappers out there is like just do a little bit of self-analysis on your game and just actually look at the areas that you need to improve. Like, we can all spend more time on the putting green. I'm not saying putting and stuff and like getting your stroke dialed in, but it's not going to hurt. Like having like a little putting mat at home or like just working on your stroke and stuff. But we're all guilty of that. No one, apart from if you're a tour pro and you're getting paid to play the game, I don't think anyone spends nowhere near as much time on their putting as they should.
No. Okay.
So certainly I don't practice putting at all, and then I moan about it being one of the weaker parts of my game. But if you're a mid to high handicap golfer and you want to rapidly improve, do a little bit of self-analysis on your game, whether that be when you go out and play 18 holes, get like a tally system on your on your scorecard, how many fairways hit, how many green and regulations hit, how many chips did you actually strike well. Forget like the putting aspect of it unless it's absolutely glaringly obvious, and then go get a putting lesson. But do a little bit of self-analysis. See where your game is struggling the most, what's costing you the most strokes, and then just put a little bit of effort into that part of your game. Now, golf is one of them sports where you'll do that and then something else will start to suffer. Then you'll have to obviously pick up and start working on that part of it. But it's just, it's range rat mentality of just like higher handicappers. They'll go down there, they'll pull their driver out and they'll just smash driver over and over again, or they'll pull their irons out and they'll hit to no target. They're not working on anything. They're not working on any feels or swing changes, whatever. Just do a bit of self-analysis, get down to the range. If you can in the winter and it allows you to in the evenings, 2 to 3 times a week for an hour, and just actually work on something in that hour. And if you want to spend the last 10 minutes seeing how far you can hit your drive, whatever it is, to add that fun element into it, then fine. But unfortunately, to improve at golf, you have to be working on things that are going to match up in your golf swing to be able to for you to produce better results out on the golf course. You can't just go to the range and just pump balls over and over and over again and expect to get any better. No. You can't. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, it's like the natural thing, and I'm very guilty of it. I go there, I hit a few wedges. It's almost like I do an on-course warm-up on the range. Yeah. Just elongated. I do like a few wedges, hit 7 irons, find something. I'm like, I found it. Move on to 5. Oh, no, I've not found it. Back down to 7. Oh, no, I found it. Yeah. And then I hit a few balls and I'm wrapped up and I go home. And that's that. Yeah, just pick something specific in your game, or a couple of things specific in your game, whether it be distance control, whether it be just your direction with driver or irons, whatever it might be. Go and see a coach, go and get a lesson, and then just work on them things on the range. Even if you just do once a week, working on the stuff, and then the other 2 times you go there, just trying to bed in them feels, hitting a few balls, hitting a few wedges. If you haven't got TrackMan or anything like that, most ranges have got that now. They have now, yeah. Although they're going to be not 100% accurate, them yardages and them numbers that they give you, they're certainly more than accurate enough when you're down the lower end of the bag with like wedges and stuff like that. If you hit 50 yards, it's probably going to be close to 50 yards on a range. So just get your yardages dialed in. But yeah, go to rapidly improve. Go see a good reputable coach who knows what he's talking about. Listen to him and just implement the changes, and just accept the fact that you're probably going to get better before you get worse. But by taking that step back, you'll get worse before you get better. Get worse before you, what did I say? Better before you get worse. If you get better, I mean you get worse. Yeah. Because you have to step up and you're going to plateau. I see where you're going with it. Yeah, you have to get worse before you get better. But yeah, if that helps anyone at home, just analyse your game, or go to a coach, get them to have a look at your swing if you're looking at swing stuff, and just get down to the range 2 to 3 times a week if it's possible. If not, as many times as you can get down to the range, and it's not going to hinder your sort of day-to-day life. And then just work on specific stuff. I went from like probably an 8 handicap when I was playing at like Channels, to stopping playing golfing for a while and coming back at probably a similar level, like 8-ish handicap, to getting a ton of lessons when it was Scott over at Notley's, getting loads of lessons over there as much as I possibly could. I think for like my birthdays and stuff, all I was asking for with people was for lessons and stuff like that. Done loads of work with Scott, and then done loads of work with Craig, and then that took my game down from, and just everything as well, like wedge play, iron, driver setup, like everything. I just went back to the basics, stripped everything back, changed so much in my golf swing. If people have seen on even if you watch YouTube over the years, how much my golf swing has changed over the last 2.5 years, and that took me from 8 down to +1, but I must have hit thousands upon thousands upon thousands of balls. I suppose you have to have like a little grind session at some point in there. Yeah. Maybe it's like that little 6-month period, and then you look back and you're like, it was probably that stage that aided me to get there. Yeah. You have to hit a lot of balls, work on the right stuff in order to be able to get any better. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not an easy game by any stretch of imagination. Westy, Scotty Scheffler. Yes. Just went back to back at the Players. And his footwork is crazy at the minute. His fundamentals are a joke, though, in his golf swing. I won't go into that and bore it. But I see an interesting take on, I'm not going to quote him because I'll quote him wrong. Don't know if it was foreplay. Don't know if whoever it was. Okay. But for the events over the next, we don't know how long, because Players is not a major, but it's class. It's got the biggest purse on the PGA Tour for any event. Okay. PGA event. Yep. And it's, you could argue, the most prestigious non-major event to win. Some of them little mini majors. Mini major, yeah. £4.5 million first place prize. So it's no slouch of a tournament. Obviously, Scotty won it. Congratulations to Scotty. That poor lad lipped out. I don't know if you see that on social media. Went like in and out. Absolutely brutal. But was that Wyndham Clark? Yes. Oh, okay. And he comes second. They come 1 and 2 for 2 weeks running. Yeah.
which is I don't think it's ever happened. Someone said, or some commentator said, and Scotty's earned like $15,000 per golf shot for the last 2 tournaments.
Just under 9 million in the last 2 tournaments. 15
grand
a shot. Yeah,
and he's not gone over par in 25 rounds or something.
No,
in PGA events.
But the interesting take that I saw was, does it have a little bit of an asterisk over these wins because he's not playing against the full star-studded field? Because if John Rahm's playing in that, if Brooke Koepka's playing in that, if Dustin Johnson's playing in that, if Joaquin Niemann is playing in that, who is in a ridiculous vein of form at the moment, if Cam Smith's playing, if all of these players, does it just put a little bit of asterisk over it because golf at the moment is so divided? It's starting to get, you've got just as much talent playing over at Live. Obviously, it's not as strong of a field because you've got like out of the top 15, you've got 7 at Live, 7 on the PGA Tour, but then the rest of the PGA Tour field is extremely strong players.
Yeah, and then the second half of Live is...
And the second half of Live is like, no offence to Lee Westwood and Poulter and that, but people like, they've openly come out and said they don't give a shit anymore like about that. So you're playing against lesser fields, but you've still got like 7 or 8 players in there who are absolute well beaters.
Who could win,
event. Does it just put an asterisk over? Which is a shame. I hope it doesn't, because what Scotty's doing at the minute and the way that he's playing and the level of golf that he's playing in that is like a joke. It will lead me onto a story. I don't like the guy.
And I saw the comment because Beth knew it was coming and I knew there was going to be a comment. I raced to press view comments.
But hopefully it doesn't leave an asterisk over it. But do you think it kind of slightly does, because it is becoming less and it's again no disrespect because to be playing on the PGA Tour, you're a serious golfer. But with so many of the big names not at these tournaments now, will it be if Scotty somehow manages to win more Arnold Palmers than Tiger Woods and more players than this and that, will there be the debate for like the asterisks over it down the line of like, yeah, but half the field weren't playing, buddy? Like, do you remember when Zach Johnson won the Masters?
Yes.
And everyone just bombed out, and it was really like just his Masters to like.
Who else done that?
Oh, no, it was Danny Willett. Danny Willett. Like everyone else, like it was like Spieth's to win, and everyone just lost, and Danny Willett ended up winning it.
Yeah.
Like that will always be known as like, all right, Willie, you didn't fucking win it, did you? Like you did win it,
but didn't lose it.
You didn't lose it. Yeah. Will that be that type of conversation with Scotty because these people ain't playing?
Yeah. I mean, firstly, just like to say we don't have a major between us.
We don't.
And we never will win a major. No. So Danny, well done.
Shout out Danny.
But you must know deep down, you know. I don't know. It's a tough one because all Scotty can do is turn up every weekend or however often he decides to play, do what he does, go out, win. And obviously, like everyone said on social media for the last year, if he putts, he'll be dominant. And it is what it is just because he's just so much better than everyone else at the minute. It's a tough... I don't know. What a tough one, really, because when people look back in history, probably not, because like no one's just going to go, yeah, but 7-1 Live. It'll just be like Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
And then like there'll be whatever social media is at that stage. There'll be people in comments going, yeah, but John Rahm, and people won't even know like what we're talking about because we're going to be 20, 30 years on. In our current I think it's only just really a few trolls in Instagram comments and that are just going to go, yeah, but this, yeah, but that. Because I don't really look at it and go, would he have won it though? I think about it, but then I pass over and I'm like, well done, you've just played really good golf.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I tell you what would be good is, it sounds like I'm rooting for the guy because he really fucked me off. But
buddies,
I can't let it go, Westy. Honestly, it fucking gripes me every day. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he can just win a few majors over the next 2 years. Continues to win a few majors because then all of them boys are playing in them.
Yes.
And then he's putting the sword to him in the majors as well. And he's like, doesn't matter if he was on the tour or you're not on the tour. Yeah. I'd be definitely.
Doesn't matter if you were on the tour or not on the tour.
That's exactly what it sounds like as well. I just got
up at the minute as well, isn't he?
Well, he didn't have a beard. He looked like a little shaven mole.
He used to have a fresh face. Now he's
never had a beard.
Bearded Scotty's different.
Bearded Scotty with a tailor-made spider. Revenge arc Scotty, that is.
I was thinking then, actually, that just made me laugh. I was thinking to myself, if we continue to grow and stuff and we get access to what certain YouTube people are getting and do you think you'd bring up with him? Because I know...
100%.
I know. He's like, hey, Ash, nice to meet you. Like, team,
like,
we're
put your hand away.
And we're like, actually, mate. And I'm like... He's like, nice to meet you. And you're like...
At the King Taylor.
And I'm like...
Trotty golf scene. I'm like, shut up, Trotty.
I'm just... Don't It's our first day here, buddy. It's our first day. Worked hard for this. No, I just can't, Westy. I just can't put it aside. For those that don't know, I'll let you explain it quickly, what we're talking about.
So, boys, before we get into this Scotty Scheffler story, I just want to quickly remind you that the Marriott Bonvoy Masters event that Golfing Days are holding is currently fast approaching, with event number 1 at Marriott Worsley Park happening on the 19th and 20th of May. If you're not familiar what the Marriott Bonvoy Masters event is, it's yourself and a friend competing against a star-studded field of other golfers across the UK. If you turn up at your qualifier and win the event, or the top 2 progress through to the grand finals, which will be held at the beautiful Forest of Arden Golf Club, where if you then win that, you will win tickets to the 2025 Masters. We'll be planning the event. Head over to the Golfing Days website, get yourself signed up. It's about 190 quid a head. You get a 1-night stay, breakfast, and your 2 rounds of golf. Get yourself signed up, get yourself involved. We hope to see as many of you there as we possibly can. Let's get back to the podcast.
So basically, right, me and Westy headed over to the Renaissance in Scotland for the Genesis Scottish Pro-Am. The Genesis Scottish Pro-Am. Scottish Pro-Am.
You're getting ready for tomorrow. What you touch on?
The Genesis Scottish Pro-Am, which has the most star-studded field because it's always the week before the Open. So all of the top boys around the world from America all come over to accustomise themselves to playing links golf because this event obviously in Scotland, hence the Scottish Pro-Am. But we was up there I want a little bit of like audience participation on this and a little bit of feedback, right? Because I'm gonna preface a lot of stuff when I say this story, right? So we were there on the Tuesday, right? Tournament starts on the Thursday. So they have 2 days worth of Pro-Ams there because obviously it's a massive sponsor opportunity. So they get all of the players, all of the top players. Rory, the lot of them are playing in this Pro-Am. Rory and a lot of them, Scotty and that, was not playing in the Pro-Am on the Tuesday that we were playing. But they were all there practicing. So they were on the range, they were hitting balls. They might have snuck out and played holes earlier on in the morning or later after the Pro-Am was done. But all of the field was there practicing if they weren't playing in the Pro-Am, right? So we get there, rock up in typical GS fashion in our rented Peugeot car.
It was a Fiat 500.
Fiat 500.
Mint.
We always pick the smallest cars to rock up in, fly into whatever, Edinburgh Airport, wherever it was, get our car, drive down there, get there, go into the changing rooms, get changed. Westy's not even playing, but he still looked dapper in his FootJoy Premieres and like just made a real effort, which...
That's how we roll, though.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
Anyway, I digress. We get changed, go out. One-arm digger comes and gets doggy. One-arm bandit doggy comes and gets our golf clubs. What a bloke that bloke was.
He's so nice.
Absolute.
He's better than me at golf. He's got one hand.
Was he? What was his handicap?
Like single figs.
Oh.
Yeah.
One arm. Yeah. Scottish, everyone gets a caddy. One-arm doggy comes and gets our golf bag, my golf bag for me, accompanies me down to the range. I'm sitting there, warming up, hitting some shots, all of these players around me, surreal moment, fantastic. One-arm doggy then says to me, Ash, want to hit some putts before we go out? I said, do you know what, doggy? I'd fucking love to hit some putts. So he goes, you know what? If anyone went to the Genesis, the massive the massive putting green that you see on the telly, where all the players there was all the crowds and the media around there, that was a putting green that's sort of cut out and fit for purpose there for a spectator standpoint. The actual putting green of the Renaissance is round the back, a little secret putting green round the back. And Doggy told us that that's going to best mimic what the greens are going to be like out on the golf course. So, with a little bit of local knowledge, forget putting on that in front of all of the cameras and stuff. Let's sneak round the back and actually start hitting some putts on the greens, which is going to best mimic what we're going to face when we go out and play the golf course. So I'm like, sound, no problem, Dougie. Yep. Sounds good. We take a little gander down there, put my bag down. Westy gives me my putter, get some balls out, start hitting some putts. Blissfully unaware for about 5 minutes that Scotty Scheffler, it's just me and Scotty Scheffler and his coach and a couple of entourage around him. There was like him and 3 others on the putting green and me on this putting green. And there is no one to be seen. It's so secluded, this little green. So it's just us. I'm hitting putts. I'm like focusing because I'm like just about to play with Garrett Higo and Christian Benzanusic. So I'm trying to like really dial in my game to like make a good account of myself. Plus we was doing a video. So I'm just in my own world. I'm in cuckoo land. I think you then said to me, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I noticed him when you were putting because I sent a picture to the Army boys and I was like, oh, look, Scotty's next to Ash. That's cool, isn't it? Or I was like, do you recognise him or something? And then I nudged you.
Yeah. So then, yeah, Westy's like, fucking hell, Ash. Just like, that's fucking Scotty Scheffler there. So I'm like, oh, sick. That's Scotty Scheffler. Bearing in mind, again, let me repeat, this is on the Tuesday. Scotty is not playing that day. He was playing in the Prime, I think, on the Wednesday, and the tournament doesn't start till Thursday. Now, I'm fully aware that Scotty was struggling with his putting at the time. So, like, it's valuable time to be practicing and working on stuff. I also completely understand that if this was on the Thursday of the tournament, I was, for some reason, on the putting green with these people on the Thursday, I wouldn't dare ask for a picture, a chat, anything, because that's when them boys are locking and loading in for the 4-day tournament they've got going ahead.
Yep.
So I would never, ever, ever ask anyone for a picture or anything when they're athletes, when they're trying to get in the zone and stuff like that. I just wouldn't do it. I'm not a massive picture person anyway.
I think it's more because we have a golf channel. Like, it's good to put up a picture.
Yeah, yes.
Good interaction.
Yeah.
It's not really for you. It's just
to post onto the Instagram. So bear that in mind when I say this, right? Like, it wasn't the Thursday of the tournament. It wasn't even the Wednesday the day before. It was the day before, and he wasn't even playing that day, right? And you can see where this is going. So I carry on hitting some putts. He's doing some drills and stuff, and we ended up putting to the same hole. I obviously missed my putt. Scotty made his, and I was from about 6 foot. He was from about 18 foot, I think. But we kind of then amalgamated near the hole together. So it was a very natural interaction of us getting that close. So I said, being the polite Englishman that I am, Scotty, pleasure to meet you, mate. Big fan of your work. Congratulations on everything. Do you mind if I grab a quick picture? To which he responded, not when I'm practicing, man. Or, no. And I was like, which took me by surprise a little bit. I was like, okay, motherfucker, we're going to throw hands in, are we? And I was like, oh, and he went, no, when I'm practicing, man. And I was like, made me feel about this big. Yeah. Like, because he's my age or younger. So, younger.
I think he is like mid-20s, isn't
he?
Yeah,
he looks like
24, 25.
Yeah. But just proper mugged me off. Yes. And it was a combination of things of, like, if there was loads of people there as well, if it was on the main putting green, I wouldn't have asked, because then it opens up a floodgate of everyone asking for pictures and stuff like that. I really assessed the situation. I really put some thought into the fact of, like, do I want to ask? I'd waited for him to not be doing his drill or not be talking to his coaches, and it just so happened that we walked to the same hole at the same time, and I said, oh, do you mind if I get a picture? And he just completely fucked me off on the putting green. So I was like, do you know what? I hope you don't even make the cut this weekend after that. It really, really got under my skin, because Tommy Fleetwood was like the nicest bloke ever when we met him. All of the pros that we met was like the nicest bloke, and he just left a really sour taste in my mouth. Now, what made it even worse, the cherry on the cake.
Which actually is just, it's the perfect image of how the world is right now.
It is, yeah. What made this story even better is, so I'm like, fuck it, whatever, hope you lose. Didn't actually say that, but I'm like, cool.
Thinking it.
Like screaming it in my head. Go play the 18 holes, best day ever, come back in, have some lunch. Like, Buffalo Trace, who invited us down there, like, looked after us so much. Hannah and everyone there, like, one of the best companies that we've ever done work with regards to, like, hospitality. Nice. And Hannah was just a legend. So we come in, have our dinner, all this sort of stuff, and then we bump into Beth's golf in the clubhouse after we've eaten. Hello, mate, how was your round? Blah blah blah. I said, you'll never guess what happened to me. She was like, what? I was like, out on the fucking putting green before we went out. Like, weren't even on the main one, was over the other one, was hitting some putts, bumped into Scotty Scheffler, asking for a fucking picture, and he completely mugged me off on the putting green. She went, oh, and there was like a pause for like a few seconds. She gets her phone out, and I'm like, what's going on here then? Like, opens up her picture gallery, and there's like 17 different pictures of her and Scotty on the putting green, and he's like giving it like smile, different poses, this, that, like, way, like, love Beth, love you, like, and all this. And it's took like 20 pictures with Beth. Simp.
Yes.
Simp behaviour.
That is just how the world is now, unfortunately. That there is, epitomises what the world is like.
Simp behaviour.
Female privilege and
pretty girl privilege.
Yeah, that's just how it works. That story there sums up the entire world.
Yeah.
Funny story though. It is a funny. Do you think so? That was back at Blade. That was Blade, Scotty.
Yes.
Do you think if it was Mallet, Scotty, you might go, mate, of course I can get a photo.
I mean, like, don't get. I've thought the scenario through my head so many times. I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, because if it was on the range, would he have been like, yeah, cool, no problem? But he was struggling with his putting. He's locking in. He's trying to work on his putting stroke, all this sort of stuff. But I just think I was so courteous in that moment of, like, not making a big deal. There was no one else there. I just thought I'd done everything the right way that I would want someone to approach me and ask for a picture. Not that happens often, but and then for like 2 seconds out of your time, I sound like I don't care that I didn't get the picture.
No,
right?
I know
It's just the fact that like
it was weird though because you say you don't care, but when you come back to me and Doggy, your bottom lip was. I loved it. It was so strange. Did you notice it or not?
Yeah, I was trying not. It was quivering.
Like,
yeah, but it was cold. It was the wind.
Yeah.
I was like, chapstick. It weren't when I went to pitch. I just thought I'd done everything. But let me know. Get there in the comments and let me know what you think. Like, should I have asked him for a photo? Should I have not asked him for a photo? I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong in all of this, and I've just got a bit of a tainted outlook on it. But yeah, I just thought it was like, and it wouldn't. Do you know what? If the latter end of that story with Beth wouldn't have happened, then I'd have been like, do you know what? Like, whatever. Like, but it's the fact that like he just simped it.
That was Blade Scotty.
Yeah, it was.
Blade Scotty was not a good putter. Mallet Scotty would be like, absolutely.
How many mallets do you think they're going to sell off the back of this? Because I've even added a little, and I'm not one to be like...
I like that, Spike.
Yeah, I'm not one to be like influenced by other equipment that people like pros are using, but I'm like, fuck me, I'd like to give a spider a go. I'm not going to lie.
But it's just a good putter already.
It is, yeah.
It's already a household name, and then...
Yeah.
Bearded Scotty has just picked it up now, and like
it's just rolling the
he's
rock.
grown his beard out. You've got the beard.
Yeah.
If you put the spider in your hand, that could be scary.
And my game is I share stark resemblances to Scotty Scheffler in my game. Tee to green, I can get there. Yes. Got a good short game. He's got a great short game, Scotty. But when I get on the putting surface, I'm actually retarded.
That actually. God, we keep segueing really fucking nice. What was yours a quick point or? Cause
No, go on, mate.
I've got a good discussion point. So you're saying about your game and that. And I don't know if I've actually ever asked you this. So I'm going to start with UK, and then we're going to go to world. Who are the best YouTube UK golfers? Do you want me to do mine and then?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So I obviously back you to high heavens. I truly do, and I've said to people before when we were like out and about drinking for the Open and that, and I was like, look, obviously I back Ash, but I see him play a lot, and I know when he plays, he can play very, very well. And the problem, like. The one thing you're missing now, and it's just hard because we don't get to practice a lot on that, it's just those, can we go deep into the red rounds?
Yeah.
Occasionally, once a month, once every 2 months. But genuinely, it's very consistent. I don't see you blow up. I don't see you like Rick Shields, like occasionally. And other people blow up and have blow up rounds. I don't really see you have blow up rounds. So you've eliminated all of them. Now we just need to see you like start digging into the red. So I generally do, in like a match play scenario, back you against a lot. So if I'm talking like UK, I think obviously you do Rick, you do Gaz. I think Bullard will be a very good match, and that could go either way. But I think if you turn up and he turns up, you beat him. Peter Finch is a good golfer.
Yeah, Peter's a good golfer.
But I don't know if he's got the real deep red in him. So again, I think if you turn up and play well and he plays well, I think you beat him.
Mm-hmm. But I think you've got to also when you talk about YouTube golfers and stuff like that, is like Peter Finch is a professional golfer.
Yeah,
he's had a career playing, coaching.
Yep. His whole life's been golf.
His whole life has been golf since college.
Yes.
So like he's a professional golfer,
and he doesn't have to do anything for it.
No,
I don't know what you do for your channel, Pete. If you're watching this, and there's probably behind the scenes things you do, but to the same degree as you, he's not working and not doing a full time. So yeah, they all do come into it.
Yeah, they class as you. Like they're like people like Peter Finch, but they do fall into that, like, because he's done content for so long. I think he can like fall out of the professional category. He's like half and half. He's like pro golfer, but also YouTube content creator, because he hasn't actively been playing on any mini tours or anything for a while and stuff. But yeah, he's been playing golf.
Full time golfer though. He might not be. Might not come under. I'm a pro golfer. He's a full time golfer.
Whether he chooses to practice.
You're not a full time golfer.
No, I'm not.
So who else is there in the UK before we go global? That's like really, really good content wise, and there's probably obviously unreal golfers out there we don't know about. They don't do content.
That James Wiltshire, who's doing Costa Navarino with us, but he's an out and out professional golfer, playing on tour, trying to make it on tour.
Now, or was just out.
He's obviously he'd beat me. He's a better golfer than me. Yeah. Like he's a proper professional golfer.
Yeah, again, so full time golfer.
Yeah, which then does YouTube.
And
I mean,
Carter?
I don't. No, I'd dish Carter.
Yeah,
I'd pump Carter. Yeah.
So I don't know. So really,
yeah. Don't get me wrong. Carter can play. Like Carter can play, but like if you. I just base it on like, because match play, anything can happen. Like it's whoever plays better on the day. But like, if you put 10 rounds of golf, stroke play, or a 4-day tournament, stroke play, round Walton Heath or wherever it might be, who would I beat? That's the way that I would say if I'm a better golfer or not of these people. 4-day tourney at a tournament in tournament conditions. Who wins? Rather than like 18-hole match play, because anything can happen there.
Be interesting. Get in the comments and let us know, because I'm always interested. I read all the comments.
And if we're missing anyone, like I mean, I don't think in the UK there's like obviously you've got four brothers, but they're not like an elite level of golf.
We have a lot of relatable content, but yeah, just get in the comments and let us know, and give us like a top 5, because I'm genuinely intrigued.
Yeah.
And then obviously it'll be good to see as the GS grows, enables us to play more golf. Now, as a friend, I'd just be interested to see.
I'll back myself. I think the person who gives me the closest match is Bullard in an 18-hole match.
Yep.
I think Bullard gives me the closest match just because of just how good he is off the tee. Like everything's usually in play. Very straight, hits that driver so well. But again, Bullard, if you're watching this, mate, I think over a 4-day tournament, I dish you. Not dish, but I beat him.
You rise to the top.
I think so, yeah. I think I do. But again, you've got like the James Wiltshires, and like, I'm sure there's other people out there who do YouTube golf who we might not be as familiar with that might be great golfers. But James Wiltshire is an active playing professional who is full on committed to try and making it to Challenge Tour, whatever it is working towards. Whereas I haven't played golf in the last 2.5 weeks. But yeah, I'd back myself against most people.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what everyone says, because I've thought about that a lot, to be fair.
Moving over to America.
Yeah, now this is where there is a lot of boys that can go deep.
Yeah.
So that's where it does.
But Wes, you've got...
one. I know what you're going to say, and that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, you have to preface the fact that they are playing golf courses that are so wide, that are 9 times out of 10. I played golf in Florida before.
Yep.
They're just... American golf courses, you hit driver absolutely everywhere. The greens are massive. Yep. You've got perfect playing conditions. You've got no wind. Look at when we went to Morocco.
I was about to say, I would be intrigued. In fact, we can probably do it. I'd be intrigued, like when we played 4 days over there, and no filming as well, so no pressure.
Yeah.
You would have been deep in the red, as though it was a 4-day tournament.
We landed first 9 holes off the plane. I was 3 under that first thing, and then we went at lunch. Effortlessly. Noria, I was 6 under.
And then we played that Tony. I always get this wrong.
Tony Jacklin.
Tony played well around there.
I was under par there.
Well.
Yeah.
So already you're now encroaching on double figures under par.
Yeah, like 10 under through 3 rounds.
Yes. Then Noria, which was last day, to be fair, so I've jumped ahead like 6.
Yeah.
So now we're double
Asufid, I was over par. Didn't play as well. Actually, I was like 2 or 3 over maybe.
And then the other round,
we
both played well. No, around that Samana.
Yeah.
When Harry went deep.
Yeah,
we both played. I'm pretty sure you were a couple under.
Yeah.
And I played really well. So already now you're, so.
It's a different game of golf, mate. It's like, America is like putting comp. If you're a good putter, you're going to pick up so many strokes. Like they're made to look, and it's not taken it anyway, because I think the big household names, like your Grant is a better golfer than me.
Yep.
A more consistent golfer than me.
Yep.
I think you take the pros out of it, like the pros that are in good. I can't remember the names.
Luke Kwan and Brad and
professional
all that.
golfer. I think that Brad played in the Masters. Like he can't be classed as like
content golfer.
Yeah, like even though he is now. But then like Garrett, he has like a few low ones and that. Like, but again, I would put my golfing ability on the same level as Garrett's golfing ability. That would be a good match over 4 days. Again, I think I would nick just through consistency. The golf courses that we play week in, week out, if I then go over to America and play these 6,800 yard courses where I can get my ping out the bag and smash driver 300 yards in any direction and have 150, 160 in, and I've got wedge contest into these greens and then just putting on better surfaces. I think Garrett's probably the closest comparison of where I'd put my golf game.
I would completely agree. 100%, yeah.
And then you obviously got the likes of like George Bryan, who I think is just like the best YouTube golfer out there.
Yeah.
I think he's an absolute flusher. You can't class his brother Wes because he's played on the PGA Tour. He's won on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
You've got the TikTok lads that have been coming up, like that Ben and a couple of others.
There was a TikTok account the other day, Bucket Hat Golf. No, me neither. But come up and they were commenting on Garrett's video or something, and they were just basically saying what we've said there. Look at the courses they are playing.
Yeah.
And they were saying exactly the same. And they were like, these boys are not as good as what you think they are.
No.
So they're all, I mean...
they're good.
They're good.
They're good.
But not as good as what we think they are. I think
they're good golfers. But and don't get me wrong, they play some hard golf courses as well.
Yes.
Like they don't just play easy golf courses, but they're municipal golf courses or the ones where they're filming at week in, week out, which aren't tour championship venues that they're playing at, these golf courses, you would shave 5 to 6 strokes off of your handicap if that was your home golf.
Because we said it in Morocco, didn't we? We said, I wonder if we were Moroccan, me and you were Moroccan.
Yeah.
We were tanned, and we were probably thinner, and we were Moroccan geezer. Yeah. What our handicaps would be?
Lower.
Yeah.
So much lower. So much lower.
But I was intrigued by that. I mean, they always try and put on these competitions and this and that, and there is obviously some good boys across the Atlantic.
Take the good lads around Crondon.
Yeah, they
and
suffer.
Tell them to score. They're suffering.
They suffer.
And I'm only saying that to wind some people up.
Slopping around.
Yeah, it's completely different golf. You've got to us, no wind is like 18 miles an hour or less.
Yep.
To them, no wind is no wind. Like you're playing to the number on greens that are super receptive, but then they still roll pro. You've got fairways which are 100 yards wide. Mm-hmm. You've got no penal zones apart from if you hit it in water out there. If you hit it in the piss, that's the only time you're in trouble out in America.
Pure. You get out.
Bunkers are pure. Like you're playing in absolute ideal conditions. So just golf's easy.
It would be quite interesting now we've said this, if you can get a few rounds under your belt. Morocco then, obviously we potentially drew their end of April. Mm-hmm. Maybe it'd be quite interesting to see what you do, because they're all competition rounds. Well, practice we can take serious. Mm-hmm. 3 competition rounds. I wonder, why don't we put you to the test?
I'll post numbers in Morocco.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'll post. I strongly believe I'll post numbers. Won't talk about the Portugal stuff because obviously it's not out. It's the reason why we're doing this podcast. But I had a couple really solid rounds out in Portugal, and even those golf courses are still more tricky, more fiddly than the courses you'd play out in America.
It's a shame the course is changing, because it would be quite nice to get you around the same course 4 days in a row in Morocco or somewhere
and
there.
Just see what you shoot. Do some 4-day tournament. Yeah. I'd back myself against most. Don't think I'm the best golfer by any stretch. I can have absolutely horrendous golf shots and sometimes putt like an absolute prick. But certainly in the UK, there's no one where I wouldn't, apart from the pros of the world who might just sort of flutter onto YouTube a little bit. There's no one that I wouldn't back myself against
on a good day.
Yeah, on a good day.
Nice.
In other news, tomorrow morning, everyone, it's going to be a grind tonight, editing this podcast and getting it all done by 4:30 tomorrow morning. But I fly out to Scotland, Inverness to be exact. First time to that part of Scotland. Never been there before. Going out there with Manners. Manners are the golf clothing company. Absolutely love their stuff. Some of the coolest shit out there. Everything they do is just so
their
good.
Social media and that is I really like them. Yeah.
Their aesthetic's a joke. But they've invited me out to go play again. One was a bucket list golf course, Royal Dornoch, which is ranked number 10 in the UK.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. 10th best golf course in the UK.
Pure.
And then Nairn as well, which is, I don't know where it is with rankings, but just another great Scottish links golf course.
Yep. Pure.
Go there tomorrow. Haven't got anything planned for the tomorrow, so I'm going to see if I can get out and play some golf on that day. And then we've got a welcome dinner and meet everyone. Mac Butcher's there.
Nice.
Mac Boucher, Mac Butcher,
the slinger,
Sling Dog millionaire. So it'd be good to meet him. Fan of his work. I think what he does on
cool.
social media is class. Seems like a cool guy. There's some other people there who. It's actually a funny story. I got the tee sheet sent through, and one of the girls that I'm playing with, her name is Liz something.
Okay.
Do you ever watch the Breaking Sawgrass Random Golf Club thing? Remember ages ago we sent you in the chat, and
is that the one where Arch sent us?
Yes,
that one.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Do you know the female that was playing in that? She was the best golfer out the one. She had some tattoos. She was the pro who was trying to break 75 or 70.
Yep.
She's playing in my group.
The golfing world is a small world.
Yeah, full circle. It's one of the first ever random golf club films that I watched properly. It was Breaking Sawgrass is a series they get. They pick 4 varying handicap golfers: a high handicap, mid, semi-low, low handicap, and they set them 4 different targets. So the super low handicap, I think Liz plays off +3 or something. Her goal was to break 75. Blah blah to break 85, blah blah to break 90, and the other one to break 100, whatever it was. They set themselves goals to try and shoot around these championship tour venues. And I watched every single part of it. I thought it was such a good video. It was 3 parts broke down. It was filmed incredibly. It was like a pillar of how we'd want to film our golf videos. It was just put together unbelievable.
Cinematic.
Yeah, so good. This lady Liz, who I watched on there, I get the tee sheets in through, and I'm playing now with this Liz. So I'm
nice.
dope. She seems
cool. Yeah,
and I'm playing with short side, James.
Yeah, he's sick, man. He's sick.
Yeah.
I love his content.
Yeah.
I love his
So
content.
it's me, day one, it's me, James, this Liz, and some American lady who is a long drive specialist. Sends it out at like 175 ball speed. Don't know much about her, but be interesting to see that. So I'm going to have to really step on something. So I can't get out driven. But yeah, so that's the group. So I'm looking forward to that. That will be pure. Super early flight tomorrow morning. And then I'm up there until Friday. But hopefully, fingers crossed, going to try and get some golf in tomorrow as well. But it's just been very busy, West. Although we haven't been playing golf since we've been back from Portugal, I'll be completely honest with you, mate. Between me and you, I'm starting to feel a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, starting to flake a little bit in the... Everyone spoke about YouTube burn, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really starting to feel it this last, 2.5 weeks.
Boys and girls, before we get into the last topic of this podcast, I just want to make you all aware, if you haven't seen it on our socials, about the Costa Navarino Trophy. Ourselves, Lauren Harefield, Andy Carter and James Wiltshire will be the team captains of hopefully 20 players per group, and we'll be playing a single Stapleford event across 3 days at the beautiful #1 Europe venue, Costa Navarino. Want to see as many of you as we can there, and of course, Team Golf Supply to win the event. So if you want to get any more information on this, head over to the Golfing Days website, go onto their events tab. It is underneath there. Get yourself signed up. Hopefully see you guys there at the end of September. Back to the podcast.
For the first time since doing this channel, I've found myself recently I cannot be fucking arsed to edit some of these videos.
I've noticed, actually, one thing I noticed is it's a few times this week. I've worked nights this week, and a few times when you're like, oh yeah, you'll talk to JK in bed and that, and I'm like, in bed?
Yeah.
It's the number starts with 23. You're never in bed at 23.
I've got my laptop on me.
No, but like sometimes when I'm going to sleep before midnight, I'm like,
yeah, I know. It's just like I'm really having to dig deep at the minute to fucking edit these videos.
Us going to bed before midnight is just like absolutely
taboo.
Yeah, it doesn't happen
often.
It's not heard. No.
But I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because we were out in Portugal for so long, and I've just got this SD. I've got this fucking hard drive of 9 videos.
I think it's that.
And they're 250 gig each, and I just know it's
looking at this.
Oh, it's just a fucking mountain. And then, like I said to you yesterday, because we're not filming in the UK at the moment, and rightly so, the weather's been shit, and it's just no point filming here. No. I'm just going to my day job, and then I get home from my day job, and I turn my laptop on, and I'm just watching this footage of a fucking cross-eyed, and it's honestly the first time ever on the channel. I'm just like, do you know what? Just fuck off. All of it. Just piss off.
It's funny because I touched on this a little bit, but it's like Sunday I worked 6 till 6, and I got back and I had to quickly finish Umbria because if work gets busy for me, I then start getting behind. And I got back and there's a roast dinner ready, and it's 6. I'd work 6 till 6 on the railway, and I had to then get back and open my laptop, and it's just that's 12 hours shift with 2 hours driving. And I was just quickly having to get it full because I never want to get too behind because Ash is always so fucking on it, and it no, I know what you mean. It's because it's a mountain.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether it's that.
But then where would we rather be? Would you rather?
No, I'd rather that.
We got to put sun down. And
that's what I mean. It's a double-edged sword at the minute. It's it's just I haven't found myself not wanting to do it so much. I've really had to dig deep this last. And what didn't help was Gaz obviously messaged me and was like, do you want to play Centurion this? And I was like, yeah, fucking sick, let's do that. So that just chucked a spanner into the works of you was obviously doing that. I had to do everything for those videos, and I had to edit the fucker for Gaz as well. Shout out Gaz and get them out. And then we wanted it to be a day. So just the last 4 days, I've edited 4 videos in about 5 days, and the fact of just the opening this fucking thing here and just looking at Final Cut Pro and honestly, I just hate it.
And it's that time before we were travelling, you put up a little photo of oh, this is the bit I hate, the battery, and people comment yes, easy.
Oh, don't, honestly.
And I just think, me and Ash say this probably weekly, and I'm not going to name and shame, but certain people in the golf industry that saying X, Y, and Z about putting in effort, and it's
shut up. Just shut up.
If we weekly vlogged between us and then amalgamated it, there's probably not a minute of the day one of us isn't awake.
I won't name names, but put it this way: if your social platform is either TikTok or Instagram, shut up. Honestly, it's as far as that, and you can point that to whoever you want or something. If you just do TikTok or Instagram, shut your mouth. I don't want to hear. I don't want to see a story. I don't want to hear nothing out of none of your mouths about being behind on content or I can't do this or like sorry if this video is going to be late. Just shut up.
Yeah, and I get we're not coming like we're not the biggest channel. We get it. We're grinding. We're climbing. But like, it's just like. I've just the last week and a half I've checked out. Like I don't know. I've just finished. Ombriel's going to be out the day after this podcast. Fucking banging video. Absolute top draw. No, it'll be out on Sunday. We've got a review coming out after this podcast on the Thursday. Ombre will be out on Sunday. Georgie Boy is back on the channel for that video. So for those who have followed the channel for a while, Georgie's back. He's his funny self in loads of parts in that video. It is a fucking banger. 18 holes. It is actually the first YouTube video ever filmed 18 holes at Ombre in the world. Pow.
Yeah. The GS has provided you with that. It is the first. If you're interested in going to Portugal and you want to have a look at what Ombre is all about, the new golf course in Portugal, we're about to drop the first ever full 18-hole video at that golf course where it shows every last blade of grass at that track. So, yeah, go check that out. But I've really had to dig myself through the trenches. And again, it's not moaning, but at the same time, I am allowed to fucking moan.
Yeah, I actually wrote this down. I didn't actually want to touch on it, but I actually wrote this bullet point down of when we moan or are having a bad day, and we may moan, you get comments on social media where you're playing golf whilst I work, or well, you're at this course for free, or you're abroad. All of which is true.
Shut up.
But to get to this position, ...
Yes. Just shut up.
It's just, we do...
Don't get me wrong, we have so many fantastic benefits from building the community that we've had, and all thanks to you guys and the work that we've put in. We went down to St Ives recently and got fit for all of the new SM10 wedges with James and the team at Titleist. Unbelievable experience. Like,
the invites don't just come from...
No, they don't. And like, it's the last I'll say on it. Just wanted to touch on it. Honestly, West, this last 2 weeks has been fucking hell. Editing this shit has been hell. But the videos are as amazing as ever. And I feel like I'll go to Scotland. I'll have all of the content edited and done. And I'll have 2 or 3 days away from it. Just a little stick. Do some Instagram stuff. Live the life for 3 days. And I'll come back completely rejuvenated. Ready to open the MacBook up again. Don't get me wrong, the MacBook will come with me. But ready to open it up again and get back on the horse. But
I think it's true, though. Because I think like if you work... You know, those that are watching or listening, firstly, thank you. And secondly, like if you're working, you work a lot and you pick up some shifts on the weekend and you work late or you get up early. Sometimes you just need a little spa retreat or a time away with the missus or a little time with the boys. So maybe it's just that. Maybe. And it's just like, because we said, and it's a seasonal thing. During the winter, it's hard. You're not doing what you actually enjoy doing, which is playing golf and making content. We filmed a few videos in here the other day and like, I get stuck on the railway night shift wormhole and I was filming just a driver review. And I was smiling, laughing, and I went, I'm just happy. Yeah. I said something like that. This is when I'm happy. I'm just hitting a few drives. We're filming a very basic video, really, and I was just like, I'm just so happy.
Yeah, it's just vibing. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love the filming aspect of of our channel. We put a lot of time and a lot of effort into that. Hopefully, that comes across to you guys with the people who watch our videos, like the angles that we use and the stuff that JK does, and like we put so much effort into like the production of our videos. But like, don't get me wrong, like. When you're off the golf course and then you actually have to put these fuckers together. Yeah. Anyway.
But it's April soon.
Yeah.
And it gets lighter.
Yeah, darker. I digress on to that. Last couple of things I wanted to touch on just before we finish the Golf Supply podcast episode 004.
/ 003 to you.
003. But it is 004. Yep. How did you find a wedge fit in the first one you've ever had? The fitter said some interesting stuff to you. He actually said that you've been shit at chipping because the wedges were wrong for you.
Yeah, they were. I've completely, and again, like I don't get me wrong, I get really discombobulated in numbers and tech. I'm really bad at like golf tech and this and that. I'm really bad at shafts and this. I should really try and be more passionate about that and stuff. But I just leave it to the professionals. I just said, you do what you need to do. But yeah, I was playing, so I've gone like 2 degree flat. I was 2 degree upright. That's like a huge change.
That is massive.
Really, in golf
4
terms.
degrees. Well, 4 degrees is the. Do you know what? I was going to fucking do that again. I'm trying to make a conscious effort of pronouncing my THs more.
Yeah, you said that the other day, yeah.
Yeah, but I keep saying words that begin with F with a TH.
Fourth.
Furthest. That's wrong. Carry on. Retard.
Stupid boy.
Idiot.
Yeah, I loved it. The geezer, the South African geezer down there, Andrew, was really cool. And it's very interesting and all the iPad technology and stuff, and like you just hit a couple of shots and it's like, nah, cool, changes. And what was most interesting for me was, he was like, oh, do you ever hit like a 54 to there? And I went, well, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do that. And he went, what about opening the face? I said, I wouldn't. I'll just blade it. And he went, well, let's have a look. And on my wedge, like, open it up, and yeah, the leading edge and the bounce, and it all started to make sense. And then he said, well, we'll have a go at this. I was like, okay, that doesn't scream thin in my head. So automatically,
the way that it's sat behind the ball.
All the way it's sat. Automatically, my head is now saying, we can, which I think is a lot in golf. We can do that. Because I think that's why people step away from the ball and stuff. Like, if you're not thinking in your head, I can do what I'm about to try and do, your body is now going to follow. So, yeah, no, it was interesting for me. And, yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, to be fair. You don't even need to really hit that many balls. The tech is that fucking good.
No. They have a thing now, so Titleist have recently introduced it. You can either go down to the fitting centre, like the main fitting centre, so you can either book in at Woburn, which I know, don't get me wrong, is extremely expensive. It's like £500, but you get a full bag for that. So if that's just like completely off the cards, you can then go down to St Ives, which is the national fitting centre for Titleist. They have all of their like specialists there, should you say. But they have so many other places across the UK, i.e. UK Golf Academy, where we're filming this, and loads of other fitting centres across the UK. And they've rolled out this bit of technology, kind of similar to, if anyone's ever been fit from Mizuno irons before, they have that, I don't know if you noticed or not, they had that thing where you put it on, they had like this little bit of technology where you put it on the shaft, and then you swing it, and then how much the shaft kicks, your swing speed, all this sort of stuff, would then recommend the 3 best shafts for you.
Yeah, got it.
It's like a bit of like technology. Titleist have something similar for their wedges now, where you go through like almost this elimination process. You hit 3 to 4 shots with like the lofts that you decide that you want, a few different shots and stuff, and then the machine will then spit out a recommendation of what grind, what bounce, for how you deliver it. If you're steep, if you're shallow, all of that sort of stuff. So you can get a really good, accurate representation by not even going to a main Titleist centre like St Ives or Woburn. And then ideally, like, you go out and hit some on the grass and stuff to make sure that the bounce and grind is working. But yeah, so that's been introduced into the Titleist fitting, which I thought was great. Me and Westy experienced it over at St Ives. It was really good.
It takes into account where you play the majority of golf. And I said it was a bit tricky for us. It sounds really snobby, but we're here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, just like firmer, softer, bum, 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 bum. And then it comes up with 4 or 5 wedges and said like 0% match. No. Yeah. So we're not going to hit that. And it said like 30% match, 50% match. And then,
And what I thought was good is everything that was the highest percentage match, I then went through it again without using that with the fitter. And it actually come out of exactly what had been recommended on the machine anyway. So it actually recommended the right stuff for me. Though I've been fit for SM9s before, so I knew roughly what my lie angle should be, what bounce I use and stuff like that. But the machine actually spat out the correct information for what was the biggest percentage match to how I deliver a wedge to the ball, which I think was quite cool. So
it was enjoyable.
If you want to get fit for some SM10s, they've got that technology there now, so you've got a much more in-depth fitting process through Titleist. And then the final thing, Wes, I just need to discuss on, because I'm still at absolute wit's end with it, and I haven't sorted it. Is I need a fucking driver.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
I need a driver. What do you think I was going to say there?
I never know with you.
Oh right.
I sometimes get a little bit like,
I need a driver. I'm not deciding on what driver I want.
Well, look, I know that you've hit all the drivers this year, and the driver releases this year, pure. For me, from watching you, and I've seen you hit them all, it's definitely got to be between 10k.
Please say the other one, which I think you're going to say.
QI10.
Yeah.
AI Smoke maybe, but not as close. I think just between them two. I think you need to spend a lot of time.
Yeah, I do.
And I think you need to hit those two. I think you hit the AI Smoke very well.
I did.
But I just feel like I saw you hit the other two better, and you enjoyed hitting them more. And again, head to body. It'd be hard to beat that 10k and just say no.
It will be, but the QI10 was like, I just love the way it feels off the face. The flight on it's so good, the spin window. But I need to get a driver sorted, everyone, because I haven't got one. I'm borrowing Westies, I'm borrowing stuff out of here, and I just really need to bite the bullet and just decide what driver I'm going to use for this year. I'm working closely with Mizuno at the moment and moving a few things around with their ST Max driver. Dave and Joe on the tour track there are having a little fiddle with that at the moment, so I don't know if it will be down, if they can get that to be. I'm not quite there yet with being happy with that at all. That's gonna take a little bit more playing, but I just need to get a fucking driver sorted and a freewheel. I just need to sort the top end of my golf bag out, because it's like something that's just been neglected. I got fit for that stuff a year and a half ago. It's way out of date. I don't think I should be using a Tour AD. It used to be the strongest part of my game, and now it's really streaky. I just need to dial that in, that part of my game. So stay tuned over the next. I'm going to get it done. Don't worry, everyone. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll have made my mind up and we'll have the new driver in the bag and free wood and free iron. I'm just completely revamping that top end of the golf bag because it needs to be done. But I hope you've enjoyed the podcast, everyone.
Yes.
It was a bit of an emergency episode, like we said, because episode 3 was supposed to come out. But there's just too much on there discussing what's happened in Portugal, and with the Gaz video and all that sort of stuff, it kind of put us back on the releases of those videos. But just make sure you stay in tune to the channel. We've got like another 8 Portugals coming out of 8 videos coming out of Portugal. We've got Old Course, Laguna. We've got, I personally think is going to be my favourite video ever of me and you at Quinta South.
Yeah, sick. Vibes were high.
Yeah, I think that video is just going to be absolutely incredible.
Laguna will be pure though, because we played good golf.
Laguna will be good. Old Course will be really good. We scored as a team there so well.
So there's some good.
There's some really good stuff coming out. Think of me when I'm sitting there editing it, but I think I'll be okay on when I'm back.
Summer is coming, boys.
Yeah.
Hold tight.
Yeah.
Golfers around the UK, hold tight. We're nearly there. You see all the little memes.
We're nearly there, boys. We're nearly there. Give it another month and we're there. Again, thank you to Golfing Days. Thank you to UK Golf Academy for letting us do this here. We appreciate you all. We appreciate all you at home for tuning in. We've had a really good response to this podcast so far. Yeah. We're very surprised by the views on the first 2, really.
Very happy with it.
We've had good feedback as well. I am working on getting this put onto Apple as well, because I know I've seen quite a few comments on people wanting it on Apple as well. So I will get that sorted at some point. It's just we've been busy with some other stuff at the moment.
And always constructive criticism is very, very welcome, because we're not podcasters.
Someone told me to shut up and speak less. So like,
we're on dog. We can tell him to.
Yeah, I don't think I've done that today, to be honest.
But no, just constructive criticism is welcome. Yeah. Thank you all. Yeah. Good luck to you, or enjoy Scotland.
Thank you. I hope your voice gets better in the meantime.
Yes, and then when you're back, we're nearly at April. Well, I think we are filming next week.
We are, yep. Got a couple of things planned for next week.
And then we're in April and Morocco and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Morocco's a fucking vibe, man.
So let's get it. Hop on here.
It's a G4 now. Here's another channel.
Thanks all. Thank you very, very much. We love you all. Peace. Good night.
Viva la GS.